U Sports on CBC, présenté by l'U Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Veraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome to U Sports on CBC and the 2026 Miller Waste Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship, live from the Woolwich Memorial Centre in Elmira, Ontario. I'm Desmond Thomas alongside Brianna Newell as we get set to bring you this quarter-final matchup between the number 4 seed UNB Reds and the number 5 seed University of Ottawa Gee-Gees. Now the U Ottawa Gee-Gees are coming off their most successful season since 2003 and 4, finishing second in the OUA East and earning their first ever McCaw Cup championship berth in program history. Although they came up just short against the Guelph Griffins in the finals, their road to the OUA silver medal was not an easy one, as they were forced to face off against the reigning McCaw Cup champion U of T Varsity Blues in the quarterfinals and the Laurier Golden Hawks in the semis, who finished at the top of the regular season standings. This is the Gee-Gees' first time back at Nationals in 17 years, and the UNB Reds went 5-1 in the AUS playoffs after a first-round bye, earned a 3-1 win over the St. Thomas Tommies in the semis, and in the finals came up against a familiar foe, as for the 5th straight year clashed against the St. of X-Women and claimed their 4th banner out of the last 5 years in the AUS. And here's an updated look at the bracket. They Carabin de Montreal a couple hours ago, a huge upset over the UBC Thunderbirds to advance to the semi-finals. Guelph and Concordia joining them on Saturday, and Brianna, some players to watch in tonight's game.
For the Gee-Gees, number 7, Jillian Warren, an OUA second team All-Star, 30 points during the regular season, top Gee-Gee point getter and second in the OUA, 6 points registered in the playoffs, but quieter in terms of big moments on the ice. So really looking to see her step up to her full potential that we saw during the year here this evening. Next up, we have Beatrice Bilodeau, number 20, the captain and heart of the Gee-Gees locker room, and helped them propel to this moment. 14 points in the regular season, 7 goals, 7 assists, 3 big goals in the playoffs. Bilodeau leads by example. She executes on the Gee-Gees game plan by forechecking hard, back-checking, and staying strong on the puck. So we'll absolutely be watching for this throughout the game. For the UNB Reds, number 9, Olivia Eustace, an AUS second team All-Star, 27 points in the regular season, 10 goals, 17 assists. The second-year center has been dominant for the UNB Reds during the year and continued this trend into the playoffs with 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. She'll have to be strong in the dot and focus on getting quality shots on the Gee-Gees netminder. Her teammate and line mate, number 21, Caitlin Scott, also an AUS second team All-Star, registering 28 points during the regular season, 9 goals, 19 assists. The third-year forward is known for producing on the offense. She carried that into the playoffs with 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points. We'll absolutely be watching for these two players to connect quite a bit.
Two teams with a lot of firepower on both sides of the ice. After the break, it's the opening face-off. Live from Elmira, Ontario, you're watching the U Sports Women's Hockey Championship on CBC.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes.
Borrow better with FIG.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship.
there is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back inside the Woolwich Memorial Arena. The UNB Reds and the U Ottawa GG set to face off in our final quarterfinal game in the U Sports Women's Hockey Playoffs. And a look at the starting goaltender tonight for the U Ottawa GG's Clara Genier, 4-3 in the OUA playoffs, a 9.34 save percentage, a 2.11 goals against average, and Cassie McCallum between the pipes for the UNB Reds, also 5-2 in the playoffs, a 9.48 save percentage, a 1.42 goals against average. And if there's one thing that the UNB Reds are known for and have been known for over the course of their rebirth in the AUS, it's their rock-solid goaltending. And as we are 7 seconds into the game, we'll have a quick whistle and a face-off in the neutral zone.
I'm really excited to watch these teams go head-to-head. Again, haven't seen each other over the course of the season, being in different conferences. GG is a very fast, hard forechecking type of team that they're going to want to execute that type of game plan here this evening.
Getting back well on defense are the GGs, but will receive the puck up on the near side and send it cross corner looking for Warren. She beats out the icing very well and then crashes hard into the boards. And an early penalty upcoming, drawn by Jillian Warren. It will go against Nystrom of the UNB Reds.
Oh, that's a tough penalty to take this early in the period, but as you mentioned, Warren doing a phenomenal job getting the inside track to not only beat out the icing, but also force Nystrom to go and take a penalty. So early on, we will see the GG's power play at work, and it was operating at 19.8% during the regular season. UNB PK operating at 88.9%.
LaPlante at the top of the zone. Warren will test from distance, and Cassie McCallum will glove that puck down. Fifth-year kinesiology major out of Racine, New Brunswick. And in the playoffs, the GG's power play 6 for 30. They made it all the way to the McCaw Cup finals, but could not get the job done against the Guelph Griffins, who played a great game against the Waterloo Warriors yesterday, sending the host team Warriors to the consolation bracket. And a small delay off that face-off, and Ferguson will come in to take the O-zone draw, and it's one back away from Hargreaves. Here's LaPlante. Top of the zone, Warren. Curling back down, now LaPlante. Again, Ferguson, open side, scores! Post and in! Power play goal for Alex Ferguson. 1-0 U Ottawa.
Oh, and it didn't take much for the GGs to convert early on that power play. And we talked about Bilodeau being strong on the puck, but how about Ferguson in the dot, winning that draw to have possession? Warren bringing it back to LaPlante. LaPlante finding Ferguson, and Ferguson taking her time, waiting for McCallum to move a little bit over, so she had that far right corner to put it in the back of the net to take an early lead for the GGs.
Alex Ferguson out of Burlington, Ontario, was the best player in the playoffs in the OUA for the GGs. And the Reds come right back in trying to respond, and the GGs do well to clean that up. And 7 points in the OUA playoffs, 4 goals, 3 assists, and those points coming at crucial times for you, Ottawa.
She absolutely stepped up in the playoffs. A number of other GGs as well.
Now Desmarais steals the puck away. Molly Hyington the puck in her feet. And she couldn't find the handle. And Wood will slam the puck back down the ice.
Whistle down on the play. Just trying to understand why when it can't be an icing. So, but yet it's going to come back into the UNB zone.
That's a big break for the GGs. As Alex Ferguson on the bench. Big smile on her face. With an early lead for the GGs. Looking to go deep in this tournament. Their first time back at Nationals in 17 years.
It'll be really interesting to see how the Reds respond, considering how early this goal was scored by the GGs, and there's so much hockey left to play, obviously, still.
Sent in front by Healy. And some pushing and shoving in front of the net as well, as Lynch was all tangled up. Reds a +6 in the playoffs in the AUS, outscoring their opponents 16-10. And in the regular season, 73 goals for, 42 against, a +31 in the AUS. As the red goes down on the far side, and it's quickly back the other way for you, Ottawa. Morin into the middle looking for Humphrey. And Morin will chop that pass away, and it was over-skated by Hargreaves. Morin has Humphrey in the middle. Morin, Humphrey! And it rolls through her skates. Here's LaPlante at the blue line. That got tipped over top of the net by Arsenault. And Jackson looking to clear. Warren keeps the puck in. On the near side, Warren at the blue line. Down low, Morin has players going into the middle. Scores! Warren thinks that puck went in, and it did, from a sharp angle. Out of the corner, Morin sent it toward the net. The refs are going to talk about it. But Warren emphatic that that puck went in.
Warren was the first one to react. Morin, the one who shot it, not even reacting.
And I don't think they're going to call it a goal, Brianna.
Oh, wow. We're going to have another look at this one, but LaPlante does a great job poking it down. Morin from the corner just threw it on net. Warren has her hands up from basically the top of the circle. But official, you can see, shaking their head, saying no. Pongo arguing the case. But it looks like there is not going to be a good goal on that.
No, and no good angle either, as that puck looked like it was fished out from behind the goal line, but
I was going to say McCallum took it out from behind the goal line, but regardless, no goal on that play. We are still standing at 1-0 for you, Ottawa.
A shoot from wherever mentality for the GGs.
Oh, hey, if I'm the GGs and I saw that, I'm going to keep putting pucks on net.
100%. In the zone, not cleared by the Reds. Bilodeau keeps the play alive, and now using a bit of a pick, the Reds will come back the other way. Shut down the ice. And Metham. Put her play to the corner. Here's Carter. Hedrick. Digging for that puck. Comes back to Thurston at the blue line. Thurston has some room. Walks in and shoots. And puck going a couple feet high, but Genier decides to glove that down.
It was a good job by Genier there. She had to fight through a bit of a battle that was going on right in front of her between Metham and Grant. So it seems like a bit of the strategy for the UNB Reds is going to be to get right up in Genier's space and make it very difficult for her to see those pucks cleanly.
Genier was a rock through the OUA playoffs for the GGs. One of the big reasons that they were able to defeat the Laurier Golden Hawks, who were the top team in the OUA. On the semifinal, as digging for the puck of the Reds, and they'll come up with it from behind the net. Scott will send that back into the slot. Murdoch sends that below the goal line. Here's Parvin. On it for UNB. Scott shovels that toward the net. Sharp angle. And Genier down at her post. There's TJ Flores. Huge producer in the playoffs also for you, Ottawa, as that puck just comes out. Scott unable to keep it in. TJ Flores, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in the playoffs for the GGs. But only 8 points in 26 regular season games played.
No, and that's where your depth really comes into effect, is when you have a couple individuals out of the lineup. Gigi's were without Morin, without Bilodeau in that third game of the Laurier series, and it was players like Reese Meffam, like TJ Flores, who really stepped up in their absence.
Humphrey does get that puck out, and poking it forward is Morin. Wilkinshire on her back foot, hassled by Morin. Into the attacking zone, the GGs. Unable to keep that play alive is Warren. And surging in on the attack are the Reds. Humphrey, watched by Jackson. Nystrom, as the GG is dumped in front of the Reds bench. And that long lead pass misses everybody. It will go for icing as Reese Meffam goes back for it.
There's Thurston, who was trying to find Wood, who was streaking through, just not able to connect. And again, it's hard to make passes tape to tape when you're hassled by Gigi's forecheckers, not giving you any time or space, making you think that you really don't have time to look for your teammate, but they actually do have a little bit more time than they think, so they have to make sure that they know exactly where they're wanting to go with the puck before they receive it.
Peyton Hargreaves, the two captains, will line up in this face-off circle. Beatrice Bilodeau for U Ottawa. Hargreaves out of Whitby, Ontario. That shot from the left circle is cast aside by McCallum. Desmarais, the transfer from Nipissing. As the puck floats out to center ice, offside, Desmarais. And not able to blow the zone, and that should come all the way back.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best men's hockey teams in the 2026 U Sports University Cup, presented by Steel Mazda, live from Halifax. Watch on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube, with the gold medal game Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern on CBC Television. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
Here come the Reds right off the zone face-off. It's punched up by Genier. I'm very surprised that face-off didn't come all the way back inside the GG zone, as the referees were hollering it was offside. As you take a look at head coach of the U Ottawa GGs, Valley Dominico, in her second season as a head coach.
Oh, what a phenomenal program she's put together over the last couple years, and you can really tell watching the GG squad that they've bought into the program that she has set forth.
Warren laying out at center ice will move this puck forward for Sampson, dropping it off, and a shot that just drifts wide from Humphrey. It'll be kept in at the blue line by Lynch. Nystrom dispossessed, sent it in front, looking for Pongo, and Warren again keeps the play alive, taken down, and no arm up that time, as the Reds look to clear it out.
Good step up there coming from Humphrey on Eustace.
Thurston dispossessed. Humphrey trying to win that puck back again. Eustace through the neutral zone. Laid in. And on the attack, Brokenshire jumping up. And here's Healy for U Ottawa. Will ring that around the boards. Cassie McCallum out to stop it back of her net. Carter off the boards. Oh. Here's Reese Meffam in the GG zone out of Alberta. As that puck hit Grant as he was trying to come out of the zone, but offside the call. And there's Sarah Hillworth, and her 9th season as Reds head coach, has been with the team since its rebirth in 2018, and is a huge reason why they've been a dominant force since coming back into the AUS.
Well, again, a coach always is a main driving force, and being able to recruit players that fit well into your program, that buy into plan, and then go and execute it, that's huge, and that all comes from the coach down.
Well done by the Reds to extricate that puck, and it's played out to center ice. Here's Lynch. Sends that puck in cross corner, and it's skipping in. McCallum doesn't want to take any chances. That. I hope they don't count that as a shot. As it sits now 5-1, but Brianna.
mean, we have no control over who is counting that as the shot or not, but regardless, it's an interesting decision that McCallum had made to go and freeze it and opt for a defensive zone draw, giving an opportunity to the GGs to get in the offensive zone instead of playing it as her players were coming back first.
And the GGs maintain possession of the puck and control in the attacking zone. Loose in front and sent over top of the net by Morin. Morin digging for the puck again on the end boards. Played in front and it's cleared up by Thurston.
Net is off. McCallum had been trying to get the attention of the officials for about 15 seconds, and finally it is blown dead, and the net will be positioned back in its spot. And just having another look at this opportunity for the GGs as Morin not able to keep it really in the vicinity of the net as it goes well over.
It's off to the left of Cassie McCallum, and it's controlled by UNB. Here's Scott up the near side, and now switches to the far side as Scott works on Humphrey. Backhand into the blue paint, and that goes past both Reds, who are driving hard to the net. Play kept alive. Bell on the near side, stripped to the puck, and then she falls down, and Morin will bring it back the other way, 2-on-2. Morin on the near side, her shot is blocked by Scott, regathered by Humphrey. On the near side board, Scott will take it back the other way. Now it's a 2-on-2 rush for UNB. Scott off the wall, looking to play that down low. And the GGs, nice move to get in over the line. Still going, Warren, what a lane she created for herself and sent it over top of the net. As the seas parted, and now a break back the other way. Carter has it roll off her stick. Good back check from Reese Meffam.
That was a huge back check coming from Reese Meffam as Carter was long gone, and it was that huge reach to just get around the body and knock it away.
And now Thurston plays it back to Grant. The Reds buzzing here in the attacking zone after end-to-end chances. Meffam. McGuire has to be careful. Thurston poking that forward, and thankfully for Ottawa, it'll just trickle to Genier.
On a good call there by Genier Frises. We're going to take another look at the rush opportunity by Warren. A nice little dipsy doodle a couple of times and just couldn't finish. It looked like it skimmed off the crossbar a little bit as the UNB Reds come back the other way. Meffam chasing Carter on the way back, decides to go the other side. Good move as she was able to knock the puck away from danger.
Off the O-zone face-off for the UNB Reds. They're able to win it back. Sampson working over her player, but still in control are the Reds. Strom. Leaves that down low. Sampson around Flores. Nice little pop pass to Hyington. Takes the outside route. Hyington still going into the attacking zone as Lynch on the near side. Hyington protecting that puck well. Curls back up top to the blue line. Sampson over top of Ferguson. And gets the puck in deep. Here's Bell. Knocked to the boards by Healy.
It's a good hard forecheck coming from Healy. Very well known for creating chaos in the offensive zone.
As that shoot in from Bilodeau will find the stick of Humphrey. Pinned to the boards by Murdoch. Wood in there trying to fish the puck out as well. And that'll just skip out into the neutral zone, and here's Wood. Lays that in for Strom. And off the wall, it'll be hacked up by Parvin. But Ottawa will come away with it. Long lead pass through the neutral zone that misses Ferguson, and that'll be icing against Ottawa.
I think this is the first icing that we've seen against the GGs as it comes back into their zone to the left of Genier. And just noticing so far, halfway through this first period, UNB very much looking for that Hail Mary stretch pass. It has only really connected that one time with Carter, where Meffam was able to come back and knock it away. But other than that, not really finding that they're having a lot of low support and then trying to build speed together. No kind of short, quick little passes. Very much that long stretch pass, as it looks like we are not going to have a face-off in the GG zone as players are moving up the ice and able to change.
So not our first GG icing.
No, we're still waiting, I guess. But it will come to center.
It will be Eustace to line up against Pongo. Olivia Eustace, the Education River out of Riverview, New Brunswick, as it's brought in by Scott, trying to play that puck in front. And another penalty upcoming against UNB as Blue was hauled down. And it will go against Parvin of the UNB Reds. 1-0, the GG's lead in this quarterfinal, and back on the power play after this.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it.
Well, it's been a huge week for the UNB Reds. Not only is the team here for the 5th consecutive season, but many players are also cheering on a former teammate who is now in the PWHL. Goaltender Kendra Woodland made her PWHL debut with the Ottawa Charge midway through a game against Minnesota. This week, she was also the Broderick Trophy winner as the top player in U Sports in the 2023-24 season. Back to you in the booth.
Thanks very much, Carissa. The GG setting back to the power play. As the UNB Reds live shot of Sarah Hillworth looking none too pleased as her team heading back to the penalty kill. Second power play opportunity in the period for the GGs, and it was Ferguson on the first to score for U Ottawa, and a chance to open up this lead to 2. Ferguson back to LaPlante at the blue line. LaPlante across to Warren. Warren back to LaPlante. Ferguson wants it on the near side. Warren will take the shot. It was stopped by McCallum, and the rebound is just kept in by LaPlante. What a play at the blue line away from Hargreaves. Here's Warren shooting that hit the body in front. Pongo trying to fish that puck out, comes to Ferguson. Warren, LaPlante winds up and fires, and that got tipped wide and bounces into the corner. And now 5 players will scrum forward on the near side boards. It'll be fished out by UNB, and Hargreaves will send it down the ice.
Well, and Hargreaves did a really good job making sure that when that scrum was happening, she stayed a little bit further away as Genier has turned it over.
Genier a bit too calm on the power play, and a great PK effort, but the Reds unable to get anything from that.
Well, Gigi's lucky that they weren't able to capitalize the UNB Reds on that one, because Genier, I think, was waiting for someone to come back. A bit of a miscommunication.
And now here's Scott, shorthanded 1-on-2. Another chance on this PK as Scott's shot hit Sampson. And Eustace digging for that puck. And the GG's 30 seconds left to work with on the power play. Turned over by Carter in the neutral zone. Great play from her on the near side boards. And now Humphrey. We'll play back to Sampson. Time ticking away in power play number 2. Turned over. What a chance to tie the game. They scored! Lauren Carter, short-handed, and it's 1-0.
Oh, that's a tough blow for the GGs. And we talk about puck management a lot throughout all the games so far, and this one is another example of having to be so intentional with the puck as Elmira tries to go cross ice and instead turns it over to Carter, who makes no mistake with the placement of her shot to beat Genier and tie up this hockey game.
UNB Reds had 3 shorthanded goals in the AUS regular season, and none bigger than this one here in the quarterfinal against the Ottawa GG. Scott walks right in. What a play from her, and her shot got blocked in front as that power play comes to an end for Ottawa. And it's center. That puck is played through. Here's Eustace. Into the boards. Harvin escapes the check of Prue. Now Molly Hyington will pick it up. That slide in front of her, Warren. Deck to the ice, gets the puck to Hyington. Hyington centers it, but had no one to pass to. And that's a nifty move from Grant to get out of her own zone. Here's Flores. With 6.5 to go in the opening period. Tied 1-1, a power play goal and a shorthanded goal. That puck is poked forward. In front. And again, Ottawa, nervy moments in their own zone, but break it back, 3-on-2. Healy, sharp angle, and that seemed to give McCallum a bit of trouble. And nonetheless, the Reds will come back the other way. Strome, that pass is knocked down at center ice.
Oh, and I really like the response here by the UNB Reds. Not the best start, not the one that they would have wanted, but that second PK markedly different than the first one, and they were rewarded for their hard work.
Genier will take that lively bounce off the boards and freeze it for a face-off. What a play, short-handed.
We're gonna have one more look at that major turnover that found the stick of Carter, and again, making no mistake with her shot placement to beat Genier.
His own face-off controlled by UNB. Below the goal line is Jackson, watched by Lynch. Played up to Bell, poked past her. Morin wouldn't get the break on. And now it's center. Sent in by Ottawa. McCallum again back for net to play that around the boards and does so very nicely. Credited with an assist in the AUS playoffs is McCallum, so she's great at handling the puck as that shot comes right through. Great save by Genier. Puck is lying in the paint. Jackson is there, and it's fished out by Metham. To the blue line, here's Brokenshire. And across, that shot comes through, and at the top of her blue paint, Genier will stop it.
Oh, phenomenal stop there coming from Genier, and then a scramble on top of that. Genier really had to be sharp on that cross ice pass, that quick shot, and then Jackson was right on the doorstep for that loose puck. Warren doing a great job helping with the collapse and then shoveling away the puck from danger into the corner.
Just over 5 to go in this first period. Nystrom sends that toward the net. The Reds with a great push and response, as you said, Brianna, after the Ottawa GGs open the scoring. Here's Scott off the wall, trying to pull that back to the blue line and forces Nystrom out of the zone. Here's Thurston over the blue line, watched by Metham. Looks to curl back up top to the point. Sandwich to the boards by Metham and Desmarais. And she does get it to Bell. Bell sifts that shot through, it was blocked. The rebound comes to Hedrick. And that backhander was blocked as well. Carter now. Contest for the puck along the boards, and LaPlante for Ottawa will come away with it and send that down the ice. Lily Bell back for it for UNB. A good battle between Bervin and Carter as it's brought back in, and it was close to being offside, but Arsenault came out just in time. Here's Humphrey. Punch to the boards was Ferguson as it's sent back in by UNB. The Reds with all sorts of momentum right now as off the boards. Fourth line going to work, but dispossessed by Ottawa. Healy will send it in for the GGs. At the near side, here's Reiner. Reiner. Test from a sharp angle, and that shot is no problem for Genier.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best women's hockey teams all weekend on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. The gold medal game will be broadcasted on CBC television Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. View sports on CBC, where champions are made.
Another offensive zone faceoff won by UNB, and that shot by Bell. Coming down off the wing as the defender. And stopped again by Genier.
Well, again, you know, we speak about the importance of draws being won, being strong in the dot, and this is a prime example of it. A one draw allowed an opportunity for Bell to come down the side and have a shot on Genier.
GG's get a draw win in their own zone and send it down the ice. Warren to chase in the attacking zone with Morin. Pinching is Pongo. That shovels that right to Hargraves for UNB. And that's a nice pass into the neutral zone, and Jackson will lift the puck in a one-hopper on Genier. Knocked to the corner. And now Sampson. Pass through the neutral zone. Murdoch will get there first, and Murdoch reverse hit on Warren. Both hit the ice, and the puck slides to McCallum. She'll cover it up.
Well, it was a good play by Murdoch coming over and taking the body. Warren just poked it forward. Murdoch getting in that lane before Warren could continue on her path. Both kind of looking at each other afterwards, being like, "You okay? Yeah, you okay? Okay, good."
Yeah. Both inadvertent. Ray Murdoch, the psychology major out of Sherwood Park, Alberta. 8 points in 27 regular season games played for her. Now back the other way. Here's Parvin. Parvin poking that through and gets decked. Another reverse hit, this time from Prue. Nepham along the end boards.
It's a good job by Demira. They're recognizing that it was two UNB players, two GG's players. She needed to get in there and get that loose puck.
And it was played back right to where Eustace was, and Scott will play the blue line. A chance for Thurston now to walk into a shot, and does, and that was blocked by Desmarais.
Great job by Desmarais recognizing to get back to the middle of the ice and get in that shooting lane.
Here's Nystrom. Sends that puck in, and another whistle will halt play. So Alex Ferguson on the power play, opening the scoring for Ottawa, and then short-handed Lauren Carter. In the PWHL, it would have been a jailbreak.
Oh, and I kind of like that Carter was the one to get that goal, and I'll tell you why, because she worked so hard on the PK. She was so tenacious on every opportunity that it just seemed poetic that she was the recipient of that turnover.
And now Healy, sharp angle off the jaw. It'll carry him to LaPlante. In front of the net, a chance is stopped point blank as Bervin had a whack on goal. And now below the goal line, coming up in front, Healy. Maybe wanting Bervin to cheat further to the back door, as Healy will send the puck in again, and McCallum will hold on to it. This pesky third line for Ottawa going to work.
Well, that's what they're known for, right? Especially Healy. She's got a lot of speed as well. She creates chaos. She tries to create turnovers, and McCallum really had no choice but to hold on to that puck because Healy was making an absolute beeline for her.
Pongo in the face-off dot. It shall be waved up, and Warren will come in to take it. Against Reiner, and it's won back by Reiner, but the GG's almost a chance to send to the puck, and Morin will get it on the far boards, and that rolls through the legs of Sampson as we hit the final minute of play in the opening period. Quarterfinal number 4. Sent around by Murdoch, held at the blue line. Sampson trouble with that at the top of the zone. McCallum. High off the glass from UNB. And strike back in by Lynch. And now the Reds, one last dash before the buzzer sounds, perhaps, as Wood has it in behind the net. Rolled off her stick with 20 seconds to go. Strom on the puck. In the attacking zone, Brokenshire gets to that pass. It was partially disrupted by Desmarais. Pass in front, Wood! Great save by Genier, point blank to deny the go-ahead goal. Another chance, Thurston leaves it. Hargrave shooting, and Genier got a piece of that too, right as the buzzer sounds.
Wood, you can see the disbelief on her face as Genier robbed her point blank and just right in tight. A phenomenal stop, and then a turnover again for the UNB Reds to keep it in. A one-timer there that Genier also fights off. And if you're the GGs, you are giving a bunch of taps to your goaltender here. The fact that you were tied 1-1 heading into this intermission.
So the UNB Reds, what a way to respond after giving up that opening goal of just a few minutes into the first period, getting that penalty call against, and then drawing that, and then getting that second penalty call against, but really flipping the script on Ottawa and getting that shorthanded goal.
Oh no, absolutely. That was a very quick first penalty that was called, put them behind the 8-ball, and again, playing against a team that they haven't played before, GG's, a tenacious bunch. They don't give you a lot of time to maneuver or breathe, and they converted early in that first period, take an early lead. But like you mentioned, the script kind of flipped a little bit once that second penalty was called. It was almost that UNB was saying, okay, we're tired of this. We're going to go on the offense a little bit. We're going to have some fun. And that's exactly what they did, scoring shorthanded. And we're going to flip it over to Carissa, who is ringside with Lauren Carter.
Big goal for your team in this first period. What did you see on that goal?
Yeah, I just saw a really aggressive penalty kill. We knew that we had to be aggressive on them, and we played our structure right, so there was able to be a turnover and just picked a good spot.
So I've been at the Aiken Center back in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and I've seen the signs. They call you Scorin' Lauren. How did that name start?
It started way back in my first year. I just happened to score some pretty big goals in big moments. They're nothing fancy. They just happen at the right time. So the announcer at the Aiken Center just started that, and it's stuck ever since.
You know, you've been at nationals throughout your career at UNB. What have you taken from those experiences into this year's tournament here?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the opportunity and getting the experience and just building off of that. We were a young team, inexperienced team our first year, but throughout my 5 years, each time we just gained more experience. And now we know what it's like to be here and what it's like to play under pressure, and I think that's what we're going to take here this weekend.
And what would you like to see from your team in the second?
I would like to see us keeping up with the physical play and pressuring them and staying on them as hard as we can, working together as a team and keeping the energy up high.
Thank you. Best of luck with the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Carissa Donkin with Lauren Carter. The short-handed goal for her is Scorin' Lauren, as they say at the Aiken Center. This season, though, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, but in 2022-23, 10 goals. So offense perhaps dried up a little bit in this season for her, but over the course of her career, has scored 25 goals, 22 assists, 47 points, and we'll take another look at the goal.
Well, I like what she mentioned too, that they're not always the fanciest goals, but they happen at the right times. And that couldn't have been more true of that goal that she scored here this evening, shorthanded.
And she mentions also the physical play in this game. In our last broadcast, we had one team from out west against a RSEQ team. A bit of a difference in physicality there, but the AUS, that is a physical league as well, up against this OUA league that likes to throw the body around too, so it's a good clash for physical teams.
No, and it's a good experience too. It's fun to be able to play against teams in different conferences, and you know, we will have some more action with second period hockey. You're watching U on CBC.
Dès l'année territoire du Nord-Ouest, le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
At AMI Attachments, we say, it's not a job, it's a performance. That means the details matter to us. It means when we do the little things right, they add up. It's why product development never stops. This is our headquarters. It's home base for everything engineering and product design to automation, fabrication, assembly, and shipping.
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Sydney Lynch and Madison Desmarais getting prepped for the second period of play. Two U Ottawa GGs that didn't start their careers with U Ottawa. Lynch in the NCAA and Desmarais with Nipissing, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Clara Genier. Her first season as the starting goaltender with the U Ottawa GGs was a rock through the OUA playoffs, and it's now time to learn a little bit more about her stories and what makes her tick as a student athlete. Here's 2 minutes with Clara Genier.
Clara Genier, gardienne de but, puis je joue pour l'Université d'Ottawa. J'ai commencé, en fait, moi je suis une fille de la Beauce. C'est pas, le hockey n'est pas quelque chose, le hockey féminin n'est pas quelque chose qui est vraiment populaire dans le coin quand j'ai commencé à jouer. Donc j'ai vraiment joué longtemps avec, au niveau des gars, jusqu'à ce que je fasse mon chemin jusqu'à Québec. J'ai commencé à jouer à 5 ans en tant que joueuse, puis rendu à l'âge de 7 ans, j'ai fait le switch pour devenir gardienne de but. Moi, ma réponse est super simple. J'ai toujours été une fan de Carey Price. J'ai toujours dit que si Carey Price était un joueur, je serais une joueuse aussi. Je trouve que la position a un grand rôle, mais je crois que je suis le genre de personne qui est capable de prendre ce genre de pression-là C'est juste une position de fun. Tu peux réellement faire une différence dans un match. Je trouve que c'est ça qui rend la position aussi intéressante. Je crois vraiment y aller le moment présent, donc ce qui veut dire pas boire trop loin, vraiment profiter de chaque moment, chaque seconde. Je veux pas justement me dire on va peut-être gagner ce game-là. Ça va être vraiment comme chaque jeu est important, puis c'est ça qui va faire la différence si je reste vraiment dans le présent. Je dirais qu'il y a beaucoup de défis au niveau de la pression. Jouer pour une université, je veux pas, puis être une gardienne avec beaucoup de départs, t'as pas le choix d'avoir une certaine performance à chaque match. Donc, je crois que ça c'est vraiment un défi pour moi d'accepter cette pression-là que j'ai, puis d'accepter le rôle que j'ai justement pour bien performer.
That was 2 minutes with Clara Genier. They're playing the fiddle in the crowd here at the Woolwich Memorial Center. We'll be back with the third period after this on CBC.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble, avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey.
Qui finalement décroche un tir.
Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent.
1, 2, 3, Canada!
Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watching. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes.
Borrow better with FIG. At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
U Sports on CBC, presented by l'U Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Veriburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. There's Lauren Carter. The reason that we're all knotted up at one apiece at the start of the second period of play. A shorthanded goal, but we'll take a look at the 2 goals in that first period.
Some nice movement on the power play to find Ferguson for that first Gigi's goal. Take the 1-0 lead early in that first. UNB wasn't having any of that laying down as there's a turnover that finds scoring Lauren. And what does she do other than score? Score! To tie it up at 1.
Stats after 20 minutes of play. Shots relatively even, 11-9 in favor of the UNB Reds over the U Ottawa Gigi's. Face-offs really key, 18-8 over for the UNB Reds over the U Ottawa Gigi's, and shots blocked 4-3. We'll now send it down to Carissa Duncan with Ottawa head coach Shally Dominico.
Coach, what did you think of your team's first period? What did you like and what didn't you like?
Yeah, we liked the way we came out. Our first half of that period, power play looked good. I think both teams started to settle in, so just like to see a little bit more pushback from our group in that second half there.
Yeah, and how did you prepare your players for this stage? Like, this is a stage, they haven't been on in years. This program hasn't been on in years. How did you get them ready for kind of the bright lights of Nationals?
Yeah, our playoff run has given us quite a few different situations and experiences, so we've really been leaning into that and taking that with us throughout the course of this tournament.
That first goal that you scored quite early into the game, you get some momentum from that, and then you have a second goal that ultimately, isn't called as a goal. How do you kind of deal with that on the bench?
Yeah, you just got to kind of keep those emotions in check. Like, there's going to be a lot of highs and lows throughout the course of a game, so it's making sure you don't get too high and too low, and, we just hope to get the second one next.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Regulating the highs and the lows of the game. From head coach of the U Ottawa Gigi's in her second year, Ali Dominico has coached internationally for Team Canada, Beijing in 2022 for Team Canada for their gold medal win, and has also coached at the IIHF Worlds for Team Canada, U18 in 2021. Her team went up early in that first period, but the Reds rallied back to tie it shorthanded. Let's see what these two teams have in store for us. The 4-seed UNB Reds and the 5-seed U Ottawa Gigi's back underway in the second period. McCallum. As that puck is turned over, a chance for U Ottawa. And at the top of the zone, it's kept in. LaPlante plays that across. And now Morin below the goal line. Sharp angle, it'll be curled back from Pongo. And that shot from the blue line is blocked, and racing over, LaPlante tries to negate a 2-on-1 break, and she does do just that, as the Reds can only just dump it in. Scott, in over the line, held up by LaPlante. And now through the neutral zone, nice pass to Humphrey, in over the line with Pongo. Humphrey's shot is blocked by Brokenshire, and it's played off the wall, and Carvin trying to get to it. He's caught up in the neutral zone. Here's Eustace through the middle of the ice now. Will take the wide lane and drop it to Parvin. Eustace. As Parvin hits the ice below the goal line, and Warren tries to go skate to stick. Fresh ice surface, a little more slippery. And turned over in the GG zone. The shot disrupted Scott, couldn't get to the rebound. At the blue line, it'll be punched down further by Murdoch. Blue getting her player to the boards. Hargreaves to the blue line. Murdoch across. Parvin's shot, looking for the rebound for Hargreaves, who got it on, and Genier tight to her post, keeps it out. Good pressure from the Reds early in this second period of play.
I know we heard from head coach Dominico saying that she really liked the start of her team in the first period. I don't know if you asked her now if she would be very happy with her team start to this second period. UNB doing a phenomenal job of putting pressure very early on, not really allowing the GGs an easy breakout. And with the long change in effect, that makes it even more challenging.
Sampson was under heavy pressure there as Wood will keep it on with Jackson. Will peel off, though, as a delayed offside.
That was a really good breakout coming from Lynch, cutting right up the middle of the ice instead of going too wide and running out of real estate.
Lynch plays that in front, nearly tapped in by a Red. Following up is Flores, trying to get the shot through, hit a maze of bodies in front, and that was all Sydney Lynch making that happen. Strom in below the goal line. Puck on her backhand and plays it to the blue line. Held on to Brokenshire, nice move to get around one. It's getting downhill now, tries to play that in front. And that went off the skate of Hyington. Back up top. Below the goal line, the Reds try to cycle on the far side. Strom into the boards. Brokenshire. Sampson for Ottawa. Sydney Lynch plays that up the far side boards and out. Flores will chase Renfrey. Gonna knock her off stride. Madeline Renfrey out of Grand Prairie, Alberta. I guess that would be Grand Prairie, Alberta. In the neutral zone. Puck is stopped back of the net by Cassie McCallum. Warren pressuring Hargreaves. Renfrey rather. Naplu. Renfrey tries to clear the line, can't do it. Ottawa, a bit of extended time in the offensive zone, but nothing really offensive set.
Well, you can see that Renfrey was absolutely exhausted again, trying to deal with that long change, and Gigi's trying to take advantage of it here in the extended ozone time.
Great stick from McCallum. That would have been a point-blank chance for Humphrey. Humphrey from the blue line, that was Pongo in front rather. And at the far blue line, play is kept alive by LaPlante, but it'll split the two defenders at the top of the zone and roll out.
And you'll see Renfrey getting a much-needed change as she was out for an extended period of time.
Renfrey in her first season with UNB. 14 games played in the regular season. Registering 1 assist in the AUS playoffs. Humphrey can't clear the zone. Parvin down low, out of the corner. The Reds trying to play that to the blue line. Thurston had it caught up and gets it down deep. There's Sydney Lynch for Ottawa. And now Humphrey. Tipped down the ice by Desmarais. And Brokenshire will send that off the glass and into the neutral zone. GGs have won 1 medal at nationals in their history as a program back in 2003 and 4. Last qualified in 2009 for nationals. Digging for the puck in the corner is Desmarais. Eustace tying the GGs up along the near side boards. Over 5 minutes gone already in this second period.
Another battle ensuing on this right side, and Dimera trying to fish it out, which she does, getting it up to Hyington for a shot on net that McCallum steers aside.
And now the Reds back through the neutral zone. Here's Wood. She'll lift that high. Another one hopper on Genier. And the Reds have tried that a couple times.
Fans, U Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca or click the QR code on the screen to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win prizes.
Face off to the right of Clara Genier in the GG's defensive zone. Hyington, and Hargraves wins that back cleanly to Thurston. Down low, Hyington splits a couple of Reds and tries to get the outlet, but is caught up on the far side boards by Reiner. So Reiner sends Hyington to the ice. Really trying to get the puck out. Won't be able to do it. Prue racing to the near side, collides hard with Thurston. Hargreaves off the wall. Played back in front, and a loose puck is cleaned up by Ottawa. Healy will send that down the ice. And that'll be icing against Ottawa.
On Thurston having a really good shift there in the offensive zone. Right off the draw, it wasn't one cleanly right back to her. She really had to get on her horse to get off the boards into the more of the middle of the ice to keep that puck alive and keep it in, and then followed it up with a really phenomenal physical pinch on Prue.
Face off on the opposite side of Genier, and it's won back again by the Reds. Eustace. Hyington will pick this puck up for the GGs, and this time her zone exit will be successful. Pokes that puck down the ice, and that line needs a change.
See, but this is where at least one GG has to stay on and continue that pressure. Otherwise, just like we saw, UNB had a very, very easy breakout.
Here's Humphrey. In over the blue line, 3 GGs wide. Humphrey, that shot goes off the leg of Murdoch and bounces below the goal line. Warren looking to pick that puck up. Pongo fishing for it as well.
See, and this is where I would send one more UNB player and one more GG player. It's just been staying there below the goal line. You have to want the puck.
And Warren was caught down low, but she might get the puck, and she does. Sharp angle toward the net. And off the rebound, it ricochets to LaPlante. Played in front, and Carter will clear the danger, and now skating up the ice is Scott. Scott with Hargreaves trying to drag that through the legs of Humphrey, and Genier gets upended as she was skating back into her crease. And Jillian Warren will move it back up the other way. On the near side, sharp angle, she'll test, and that's punched away by McCallum. Here's Sampson toward the net. The flyby tip doesn't go.
Good pinch coming from Lynch to keep this offensive pressure going.
Renfrey. Back across to Brokenshire. As Ottawa has that puck pinned just inside the attacking line in front of their bench, and they look to get a shot on, but it's cleared to the boards by Wood. Lynch cycles it down low. Murdoch. Lee Sampson on the far side boards. Shoveled down by Ottawa. Bilodeau trying to get loose. Demare, Bilodeau. That shot was blocked by Hargreaves. And at the blue line, the Reds won't be able to clear it again. Lynch plays it across. Nepham shooting. And that went wide and high off the glass. And Brokenshire will pick it up for UNB. And Murdoch will skate back out with it. Oh, nice move to the middle as, pardon me, it's Wood in on the attack. Chop to the middle, following up is Carter. Nystrom sends that down low. Prue along the far boards trying to win that away from Thurston. Hedrick on it now, skating below the goal line. Nepham in a tussle in front of Genier. As traffic forms in front of the GG's netminder. Here's Nystrom. Looking back up top to the blue line. Thurston shooting. That goes off a stick and high over top of the net. Carter. This top line going to work for the UNB Reds after some sustained zone time for Ottawa. The Reds have their turn. Nystrom. Chopped down by Prue. And Carter gets it in deeper. Here's Grant. Back to the boards by Nepham.
Oh, you can hear the fans really wanting a penalty as Thurston loves it down.
Here's Eustace, backhand denied by Genier in a huge wrestling match in front. As again, Mepham knocking down Grant.
You hear the fans now finally happy that a penalty is called on Reese Mepham as she argues her way to the box, but the arguments are going to fall on deaf ears.
Reese Mepham will sit for 2 or less, and the Reds a chance to break this game open. When we come back, you're watching U Sports on CBC.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
First chance on the power play for the UNB Reds in tonight's game, and a chance to break it open as the top players for Sarah Hillworth's squad will go to work against U Ottawa, who killed off 25 of 28 penalties in the OUA playoffs and 89.9% through the regular season, second in the OUA. As Hargraves will line up against Pongo, and Pongo's able to chop that back to the boards, and LaPlante will get that up to Pongo, and the GGs will get an early clear 200 feet.
Good first clear for the GGs, and UNB quite successful on the power play throughout the regular season, operating at 21.7%.
As they come in right now, and that shot is fought off by Genier. Warren behind the net, trying to get it up the far side. Scott, near side Eustace, that goes off the stick of Warren and the far boards. Here's Scott again. Top of the zone, plays it back across. Nystrom, a bit of trouble with it. And Nystrom's able to keep the play alive. Jumping at the blue line, and this time Uwata was able to just squeak it into the neutral zone. Humphrey will shield this in front of Genier with Eustace on her tail. And at the blue line, U Ottawa will just be able to clear it out. And now down the ice, LaPlante shorthanded, 1-on-5. And elects to curl back, and it's a smart play from her. As now it's sent down the ice by the GGs.
Oh, it was great work by Morin, who was carrying it up into the offensive zone, elected to come back, pass it to Sampson, and Sampson could have held on to it for a little bit longer, killed some more time, elected to just shoot it down. So all that work Morin did was a little bit for naught.
Held in again by UNB. Under 30 seconds to go in this power play. And it's played to the line, but not out. Held on to Strom shooting, and that just goes wide. Morin in the corner. And Sampson will pick up this puck and fire it down the middle of the ice, and that'll do it for the UNB power play, but it's played up quickly, and now catching the GGs on a change. Here's Strom, played across, and a great defensive play to break that up from Hyington.
Oh, it's a really great back check coming from Hyington to disallow that chance. It was a good job by Lynch coming over as well, as she was caught a little bit off guard on that 2-on-1 opportunity, but it made the right call going to the backdoor player.
Now Humphrey plays that off the wall and will catch up to it herself. But Parvin there first. And here's April Reiner into the attacking zone for UNB. Plays that below the goal line. Parvin in. That's a hard hit by Bilodeau. And nothing called as she knocked down Arsenault. And now LaPlante into the attacking zone, lays that off, and that shot from the far wing goes up and into the netting, and that was LaPlante with that hard hit.
And some nervy moments there for the GGs. A good opportunity for UNB after the clear that Samson sent down the ice. McCallum going out of her net, making a very quick up, taking advantage of a GG's change up to her teammate who passed it over, far side over to Wood, but a great back check coming from Hyington and a good stick by Lynch, making sure that there was no opportunity to convert.
GG successful, able to kill off that power play as Prue tries to chip that forward. Nystrom backs it into the neutral zone where catching up to it is Hargreaves. On the near side boards, Scott. The left foot of Jillian Warren doing a lot of work. And Meffam upended, and it's turned over by the Reds. Eustace trying to center that puck in front, and it bounces to Ottawa. They're going to have an odd player break the other way, 2-on-2, as it's brought in now 3-on-2. Laid off on the far side, that shot into the glove. And Cassie McCallum, good transition up the ice from Ottawa.
Really good transition as we see some words being exchanged between Scott and Warren. I'm sure they're just asking how they're enjoying the tournament, of course. And you have Pongo heading the other way. It's a 3-on-2 opportunity. Drops it to Morin. Warren was with them too. The challenge is with that rush for the GGs is that you had two players going towards the net. You didn't have that trailer. So you really need to have that separation. Otherwise, there was nothing for Morin really to do with that puck other than throw it on net and hope for a juicy rebound and a scramble in front.
They do get an offensive zone draw. Reds led in the face-off category by a large margin after the first period of play. And they get the draw win here in their defensive zone, but turn it over. Can't clear it as Flores sends that over top of the net, and then is dumped on the far side. Here's Flores, trying to center that puck in front for Hyington. Now in the corner, Flores. Brokenshire, nice pivots away from pressure. Sends that down the ice. Samson ranging after it. And Genier plays that to where Hedrick catches up with it. Below the goal line. Here's Jackson. And great work from Lynch to tie her up along the boards. But Humphrey, too much time, or Hyington rather, too much time on that puck and turns it over. Penalty upcoming against UNB.
I'm curious to see what the official call is on that. I saw body contact, and it's going to be Jackson who's heading to the penalty box. And I mean, personally, I didn't think there was really much to call in that sequence. It just seemed like two players colliding, but tough break for the Reds and good opportunity for the GGs to head back to the power play and an opportunity to convert, as we're gonna have another look there. It just seemed like they collided on their paths going opposite ways. Bit of a traffic jam, if you will. Regardless,
it's the third power play of the night for Ottawa. 1 for 2 so far. Here's Jillian Warren. Out of the right circle, LaPlante, top of the zone. A lot of room down low as it's played in front from Pongo. Off the goal line and it stays out. Still loose puck. And the net comes off, so the whistle has to blow.
You know, that was a smart play coming from Ferguson, because you can see the PKers for the Reds really gravitating towards her, and that's what she did a great job of doing. She drew in a couple of penalty killers, opened up Pongo. Pongo, I think she thought she had less time, but she had a lot of room all by herself. It was like this little bubble of time and space, and just got caught up in her own feet trying to do something a little fancy.
Yeah, and then that second opportunity played it right off the post as it beat McCallum, but not the upright. So they stayed tied at 1 goal apiece. Still a minute 42 left to go on the power play for Ottawa.
Still a lot of time for UNB to kill off against this strong power play unit for the GGs.
And they get the clean draw win here on the power play, and that play is kept alive by Warren. Bilodeau below the goal line. Pongo stapled by Murdoch, and Murdoch is not letting up, but the puck stays in for the GGs. Here's Ferguson on the far side, back up top to the blue line. LaPlante, right circle. Here's Warren shooting. Right pad saved by McCallum, and the puck cleared past LaPlante and down the ice.
Good clear there coming by the Reds, and again making sure they're doing a good job of clearing any loose pucks from in front of their netminder.
LaPlante. And now Ferguson, who has the goal in the game for Ottawa. Ducking past the check of Thurston. Nice jump along the end boards. Bilodeau fishing for the puck. Hargreaves as well.
And this is where Ferguson has to be a little bit more aggressive. You're on the power play. You have to retrieve that loose puck.
And it is fished out by Ottawa. Sampson comes down and pinches and gets it right to Morin. Back up top to Sampson. And switching with Humphrey. Sampson, top of the zone, lays off for Desmarais. Desmarais doesn't like what she sees, so she curls back with 25 seconds left to go on the power play. Humphrey shooting, rebound in front, swatted wide by McCallum. That diving pass attempt by Morin was intercepted and cleared off the glass.
Oh, that'll pretty well do it for the power play. On that last opportunity, Humphrey was at the point, and there was actually a very wide open cross seam to Pongo at the back door. Not sure if Humphrey just didn't see her or if she thought it wasn't open, but there was that backdoor opportunity to Pongo.
Power plays over, back to 5-on-5, chance in front for Ottawa. Flores, and she plays it back to Desmarais. In front, Flores tips it, and that finds the near side boards. Hard hit by Morin into the corner, and Morin has the puck back as no penalty was called on the play. Played back in front, looking for Desmarais. It'll find the blue line, and that shot drifts through. And UNB will settle it down. 2.5 to go in the second period of play, back to back, and back and forth action between these two teams. Mepham under the pump. But able to play it to Humphrey, who also is under heavy pressure from Reiner. Great forecheck by the Reds, but the GG's able to come away with it. Played offside. Through the neutral zone, Strom. What a move to get in over the line. Strom still going, forehand shot, and it's shut down by Genier. What a move by Riley Strom.
That was a nice individual effort coming from Strom. Again, a little dipsy diddle and a wee, and right on Genier for that face-off. And again, you know, a lot of people, they tend to look at the puck, and this is exactly what happens. This is the reason why you can't look at the puck, whether you're forward playing D or you are a true D, whatever it may be, you have to take the body.
Through the legs of a GG's defender and played through the blue paint. Strom again coming so close. But Flores will intercept that puck, but unable to clear as it's played below the goal line. Sampson hounded in her defensive zone. Lynch will get to this puck first. Strom. Hyington can't clear the zone, but she does find it at center ice. Molly Hyington, watched by Thurston, into the corner. Healy, dispossessed by Thurston. Recreation and Sports Studies major out of Stratford, Ontario. It'll be yard sale on the near side boards as 4 players were down. And that's a heavy collision. Hedrick wins the puck back. Genier sprawling as it was tipped in toward the net. In the final minute of play in the second period. Hedrick trying to grab the lead for the UNB Reds before the buzzer sounds. LaPlante collides on the far side with Brokenshire. Both players stay on their feet. Chopped at the blue line, and it's played with a high stick. Or Grant would have been all alone in front.
On that collision between LaPlante and Brokenshire, she actually broke her stick on that play, and half of it went flying, half of it still lying there in the middle of the ice as it's picked up by a lineswoman to bring back to the Reds bench. Physicality seems to absolutely be ramping up a little bit more here at the end of this second period. I'm sure we'll see more of it in the third as well.
Yeah, both teams no stranger to that. And UNB all tuned up from their series against the St. FX X-Women, who are a very physical team in the AUS. As it's brought forward by Scott, cutting to the far side. Scott still going, shoots, and that goes off the stick of Genier. Juicy rebound off the glass. Parvin battling for it with 15 seconds left to go in the period. Nystrom, a chance for one more shot before the buzzer goes. Skating back, looking to the blue line and plays it. The right circle set toward the net. Couple whacks at the puck, still loose in the blue paint. Genier sees that fall into the corner. And that'll do it for an exciting second period of play. After 40 minutes, the teams will head to the dressing room, tied at 1 goal apiece.
That period pretty much had it all the excitement you could want in a hockey game, and some nervy moments on either end. Goaltenders having to make some stops, lively rebounds coming off the glass, and a lot of physicality between these two. I'm gonna have to say Gigi's had, I'd say, more of the turnovers throughout this game so far compared to the UNB Reds, which is interesting because I'd say in the first period they played a little bit tighter. I don't know if it was nerves or what, that they defaulted more to that game plan, more on the conservative side, opened up a little bit more here. And we are gonna head down to Carissa Donkin, who's ringside with Alex Ferguson.
Your team is in a tough battle here. What would you like to see your team do in the third period?
I just think we need to get back to the basics, take straight passes, get the puck in deep, wear them down, and make sure we're getting shots on net and getting the rebounds.
You've not played this team before. Obviously your program hasn't been to nationals in a while, so first time seeing them. What initially jumps out at you about UNB's game?
Well, obviously, they're a different team. We haven't played them before. Definitely a tough opponent to play, different style of hockey. Haven't seen too often in our league, but we just got to keep going and wear them down here.
How big has Clara Genier been for you so far in this game?
She's been huge. She's been our star player and holding us in every game, and she's just a great teammate and always there for us. So, yeah, we love her.
Best of luck in the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Carissa Donkin with Alex Ferguson, the goal scorer for the Ottawa Gigis, who got the party started in the first period of play on the power play. And talking about getting back to basics against the UNB Reds.
Tape-to-tape passes, which is something that the Gigis were lacking a little bit in that second period. Mentioning that the UNB Reds, they absolutely play a different style of hockey, one that they're not used to seeing themselves in the OUA, which takes a little bit of time to adjust. But she said this a couple of times during her time with Carissa: wear them down. And what part of that means is if you're going and dumping the puck, you need someone to go and chase. And that was lacking a little bit in that second period for the Gigis. And forechecking, something that's so integral to their game. I think Ferguson wants her and her teammates to get back to that style in the third period.
It's 1-1 after 40 minutes of play. A lot more hockey left to go on U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. rise as one.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
I have a degree in meteorology. I am a licensed electrician.
I went to veterinary school.
Life might not care who you are, but we do. Grads and professionals can save more. Just one of many ways TD Insurance helps you save. It's how we're making insurance more human.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC, and there's Sydney Lynch again. Familiar spot on the bench, getting prepped for the third period of play, which is sure to be a huge period between these two teams. Knotted up at 1 after 40 minutes of play, and knotted up at 1 thanks in large part to the work of Reds goaltender Cassie McCallum. And the Reds as a program in general, since coming back into the AUS in 2018, have had an amazing string of goaltenders, and Cassie McCallum had a great mentor in Kendra Woodland. And Cassie McCallum now the starting goaltender for the UNB Reds, and we're going to learn a little bit more about her and her stories as a student athlete. So here's 2 minutes with Cassie McCallum.
Hi, I'm Cassie McCallum. I'm a goalie, and I play on the UNB Reds women's hockey team. I grew up in Christiansted, New Brunswick. I grew up playing minor hockey there, and then I played boys growing up, and then as I got a little older, I switched to the girls' side in grade 9 and played at RMS Ross St. Otherwood School there, and then I came to UNB after that. Yeah, so when I was in novice, I know they don't call it novice now, but I'm not sure the actual age group that is. When I was in novice, though, I always wanted to go to the rink and be a goalie. I never wanted to play player. When my dad did tell me I was going to be player that day, I didn't want to go. So I always woke up wanting to go in as goalie. So I started there, and then I finally got my first set of goalie gear in second year novice. So I don't know, it's a crazy one because goalie's definitely a different position. But I think it's nice that as a goalie you can steal games and like keep teams in it, and like it's definitely like a focus-driven position. So I love that, and I love to compete in it. So I'd say I'm a pretty quick, agile goalie. I love playing the puck too. I think that's one of my biggest assets. I'm pretty confident in playing the puck, and I love like if I can get it up and save our D some skates back. So I think that's a huge part of my game. I think something as a goalie that like athletically I've overcome, I think like that position is tough. As there is only one goalie who plays. So I think my first couple of years, I kind of overcome like sitting and like waiting for my turn. And finally, when I got the opportunity, I think I kind of strived and put everything out there and did my best. And I think it's like showing now, so.
That was 2 minutes with Cassie McCallum. The pride of New Brunswick and the spirit of New Brunswick being felt inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena. A lot of hockey coming up after the break. Third period between the Ottawa GGs and the UNB Reds after this.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble. Avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey. Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent. 1, 2, 3, Canada! Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine. Parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes.
Borrow better with FIG.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
U Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Veriburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. A lot of young fans in attendance, loving the growth of the women's game and the future of women's hockey right here in the stands, as the U Ottawa GGs and the UNB Reds knotted up at 1 goal apiece after 40 minutes of play. Here are the stats after 2 periods. 15-22, the shots in favor of the UNB Reds, and 22 face-off wins as well. They continue to lead in that category after 2 periods, and the Reds getting down and blocking 8 shots to 6 for U Ottawa. The GGs 1 for 3 on the power play. Here are the second period highlights.
On so many opportunities both ways. A shot out wide by Morin there. A side shot coming from a couple different opportunities. One coming from Scott, who is one of our players to watch. Warren also being very active. And again, the goaltenders, who we heard a couple of segments from for both, standing tall between the pipes, not giving a lot of juicy opportunities either way.
It's been a pretty tight check-in game. There's not been a lot of room to work with in the neutral zone. And the GGs with a lot of scoring power, as do the UNB Reds. We'll send it down now to Carissa Duncan with UNB head coach Sarah Hillworth.
What have you liked about your game so far, and what would you like to see differently in the third?
Yeah, I like how aggressive we are on top of pucks, and I think we're getting a lot of things at the net right now. I just think that we need to make sure that we're getting that puck in off rebounds and just getting those second and third opportunities done. Defensive zone, we got to make sure that we're blocking shots, taking bodies. Got to keep our short shifts here and then just get the job done.
We saw the scoring open for your side by scoring Lauren Carter, one of your graduating players. What has she meant to this team?
She's just someone who brings character and will every single day. The passion and intensity that she brings. She's been a part of our 5, just being at the Nationals 5 times in a row. And she just knows how to get it done. So I'm excited to see what she can do in this third period.
And those 5 trips to Nationals, how have they prepared you for this game right now?
We were just talking about it, that we got to do it for the people who've come before us. The people that have pulled on this jersey and haven't had the opportunity to go the next round and play for a medal. And it means a lot to our program. We have a lot of pride in our program. So to play for those people who've come before us is really important. And, I think we just got to get it done for them.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the third.
Thank you. Thanks.
What a great message from Sarah Hillworth, talking about playing for those who came before you, who weren't able to get it done, to play for a medal. Out of the past 3 tournaments, the Reds have only played 2 games in each tournament. Their best was in 2022 when they played 3 games. They finished 4th, but have yet to medal, as Sarah Hillworth obviously knows, and that's front of mind, but they've got 20 periods of hockey here to flip that script.
Well, and I like how she talked about legacy, which is exactly what you were mentioning, Desmond. Doing it for the players who had come before, who didn't have a chance to do it for the medal. It's also doing it for the ones who will be graduating after this season, as it is their last opportunity. And doing something basic like keeping short shifts, huge impact there. That's what she's looking for from her team in this third period.
Off the face-off, the Reds trying to get the puck in deep inside the GG zone, and it's turned over by UNB. Another high bouncing puck. Carter trying to win that back. Looked at by Hedrick. And Warren will backhand that out to safety. Morin sees that down the ice. Broken Shire, shoulder checks and escapes the check of Pongo. Centered in front from Morin. Gloved down by Scott. LaPlante trying to keep that play alive. Scott on it here for the UNB Reds. And trying to poke that through and create a change for herself is Parvin. Into the far corner. LaPlante. And it's centered. Eustace shooting off the blocker of Genier. What a save to start this third period. Held at the blue line. Renfrey sends it down low. LaPlante up the far side boards, has Eustace to deal with. Ferguson in front of the Reds bench, and it's right to safety in the red zone. Neffem fires this puck in from the blue line. Cassie McCallum turns it over. Bilodeau is loose in front. Her backhand is flipped over top of the net. What a chance to take the lead early in this third period.
Almost seemed like it was in slow motion at that missed opportunity.
McCallum and the same thing that Genier did earlier in the game as well.
And again, maybe a miscommunication.
Hyington, rebound and chance. And along the near side boards, it'll be picked up by UNB. And Jackson turns that right back to the U Ottawa Gigi's. Flores in on the attack. Thurston will get the puck out cleanly this time. Hargreaves at center. Healy takes it away from her. Quick pass into the middle. Streaming up the middle of the ice. Warren shooting. And that just goes wide on the blocker side of McCallum. Pulled off the wall. And the GGs will have to come out and tag up.
Oh, they'll come out, regroup, and go right back to work as Warren banks it into the UNB zone.
Morin pulling that puck off the wall. The GGs a great response after the Reds seem to have the early jump in the third period. Brokenshire. Hedrick and Hargreaves send the puck out. LeBlanc, careful in her own zone. Strome on her back. And U Ottawa, Pongo knocked down at center ice. Warren in on the forecheck against Carter. And the puck will float back inside the GG's line. McCallum turns it over at center ice. Hedrick back in on the attack. Here's LaPlante. And that puck, luckily for U Ottawa, will find the stick of Morin. Sent down the ice by Warren, who seems to have been on the ice for a very extended shift.
She's hunting that next one. And a little bit of a miscommunication by McCallum and Diaz, and the opportunity for Bilodeau. She just puts it a little too high over the net. Healy finds Warren streaking through. Thurston does a great job coming back and cutting her off, so she doesn't have as much time to get in deeper for an opportunity on McCallum. So great job by Thurston and a great couple push opportunities by the GGs.
Face off to the left of McCallum in the Reds' defensive zone. It's run back by UNB, and that might have hit the official, so it didn't escape the zone. And a big chance for Ferguson to center the puck. Desmarais to the blue line. Here's Meffam shooting. That goes off the skate of Scott, but stays in play. Desmarais gonna win that back from Nystrom. And it's sent into the neutral zone. Oh, great job from Scott to work away from Meffam and get the puck in the attacking zone. Stapled to the boards is Parvin. Ferguson on the far side has reinforcements. And the GGs will get a clean zone exit. Desmarais lifts that puck in, will be the lone forechecker as the rest of her line needs to change. Desmarais as Callum bobbled it again off the goal line, and McCallum keeps it out.
Oh my goodness, that could have been very bad news for the UNB Reds and McCallum as Desmarais just puts it on net, not really thinking much of it. McCallum elects to go and try to play it right into Desmarais. Ends up being a bit of a scramble in that crease, but McCallum able to keep it out. Nervy moments there. I really thought she was going to freeze it for a whistle with Desmarais streaking down on her.
Well, it looked like as well that McCallum had trouble flipping over that glove to get the right position on the stick to try to play the puck, and we saw her play it really well through the opening two periods, but a couple of really close calls as it's turned over again inside the Reds line, but this time it'll escape the zone. McCallum has it bounce over her stick. Hyington tries to blind setter that puck. And tracking back into the attacking zone is Wood. Pulls over LaPlante. Warren on the near side is dispossessed. Here's Strome. Plays that puck into the middle looking for Reiner. Strome will try to find it in her skates. U Ottawa trouble clearing the zone. Strome dancing out of the corner on her backhand, trying to create a lane for herself. Plays it back to the blue line, and the puck is forced out to the neutral zone. Offside the call at the GG's blue line.
Fans, U Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca or click the QR code on the screen to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win prizes.
14:33 remaining in the third period of play.
Strome did a really great job in that last shift, kind of turning one way or the other way, protecting the puck, not forcing, waiting for her opportunity as she was able to take advantage of the middle opening up. LaPlante doing a good job, though, on the defense.
The criminology major, Riley Strome out of Kingsville, Ontario. Thurston in her own zone as they go high off a stick, and Warren will gather it back up for U Ottawa. Plays that right to Nystrom. Grant. Going to play that through the middle of the ice. It's jumped on. U Ottawa trying to get the zone entrance, and Mepham will be bowled over in the attacking zone. They're going to play on.
I like that step up, though, by Mepham. Not always a defender that's that offensive-minded, but I like that she took the opportunity with the path that was allotted to her.
Here's Lily Bell, the Waterloo native, playing in front of, I'm sure, a lot of family here in Elmira, Ontario. Gigi's turned the puck over in front of their own net, but LaPlante is able to win it back for the U Ottawa Gigi's as Ferguson moves it forward. Ferguson to the inside. Ferguson! Might have gone off the blocker of McCallum, who got just enough. And now Prue stepping up on Parvin.
Oh my goodness, Ferguson completely deked Murdoch out of position completely. And again, it goes back to making sure that you are looking at the body and not the puck.
Send it in front, looking for Wood, right in front of the net. Ferguson will tie her up along the far side boards.
Battle ensuing there, but Gigi's come up with it as Ferguson clears it down the ice.
And that should go the distance, and yes, icing the call.
On Ferguson, kind of all over the place, doing what she can for her team as she ends up with the puck here. Dekes Murdoch out completely for an opportunity on McCallum. Not sure if she got a little piece or just went completely wide. Regardless, of very silky mitts that Ferguson demonstrated there.
Clean face-off win from the Reds. That shot right on, bobbled for a second by Genier. But she's able to hold on and force another face-off.
She gets a lot of taps there from her players after that stop. And again, it was so quick off the face-off. It looked like it took her a little bit by surprise, but she recovered very well, making sure she smothered that rebound, and will do that face-off over again to her right.
Out of the face-off, the Reds control again. Thurston plays that below the goal line. Wood tries to center the puck, and it'll fall to Healy, who plays it up on the far side to Flores. Nystrom with Healy, watching her closely. Likes to drop it back. Flores there first. A good pop from Thurston. And the puck is cleared out into the neutral zone. Sent down the ice. The Reds appealing for icing. Just from the right side of the red line. That's collected very well by Hedrick. Bell creating some nice room for herself as she brings the puck in. Bell on her back end, into the blue paint. Cleaned up by Morin. Sent to the boards, but not out. Grant will skate to the far side below the goal line. Pulls it in front, but holding to the stick of Morin. Flips it out.
That was a good job by Grant there. Again, just trying to get it to the front of the net, and Morin being in great positioning to make sure that she got it away from danger a couple of times there. Not really thinking anything too fancy or for too long, just gets it away from the front of the net.
Physicality really ramping up. Show that check on Mepham Morin, leveling a Reds player on the near side, but if that's the standard that's being set, it's been consistent.
It's absolutely been consistent throughout the game, and you know what? I like that they're letting them play, 100%. I absolutely like that. Bell with a nice little nifty move to walk around Morin. And then trying to walk around Meffam with that really long reach, making sure that that was not possible. Still got to the front of the net, but like we mentioned earlier, Morin in really great positioning. And just to finish that thought on the physicality, I like that they're letting them play. And again, it's consistent throughout. It's consistent for both teams. And I mean, it's my favorite kind of style of play, too.
That's the type of style of hockey you played,
It's my kind of game.
Genier stops that back. Parvin. Send it back to Nystrom at the blue line. Parvin collects that very nicely. Below the goal line, Scott looking for Eustace. And that's cleared up and sent out by U Ottawa. And that ricochets right into the GG's bench for a whistle.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best women's hockey teams all weekend on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. The gold medal game will be broadcasted on CBC Television Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
Shots relatively even, 23 for UNB, 22 for Ottawa. As the Reds will chase in this face-off into the GG zone. Harrington takes a bump from Wood.
And again, this is a prime example of where Samson needs to get in there because otherwise she's not covering anyone.
That was a sneaky shot as the puck came in off the wall, and Genier had to be very sharp on that to glove it down.
It was Hargreaves actually who was the recipient of that loose puck. She was in the right spot, right time for that loose puck to squeak through, and that's where we've been mentioning it a little bit throughout the game when there's those battles that are ensuing and there's a couple of GG's players, couple UNB Reds players. Samson in that instance was in no woman's land. She wasn't covering anyone. She wasn't an option for a pass. She needs to get in there and get the loose puck and then switch the flow of the puck and the play the other way.
Tongo. As the GGs look to get out of their own zone, the Reds continue to be dominant on the faceoffs and tracking the puck for secondary efforts if they lose the draw. Scott, sharp angle. Jenny didn't know where it was. It hit the post right next to her right ear. And that's unfortunate for Scott. Caught an edge and went down to the ice. Reds right back in. Samson. Back around. Jillian Warren into the middle. Humphrey. Hooks it over to Morin. Gonna build up some speed on the near side away from Bell. Bell hauls her down, and that will be a penalty on Lily Bell. It's pretty clear cut.
No, absolutely. That's a holding penalty every single time. So Bell's going to head to the box looking very dejected about it as well. And we will have a GG's power play after this. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Well, earlier this week, University of Ottawa captain Beatrice Bilodeau was recognized for her work in the community. Now, in addition to her role with the GG, she's also a medical student at the University of Ottawa, and she spends lots of her time giving back. That includes being a crisis responder with Kids Help Phone since 2022, mentoring high school students, coaching and volunteering at a long-term care home. She was honored with the U Sports Marion Hilliard Award for Student Athlete Community Service this season for her work. Back to you in the booth.
Thanks very much, Carissa. What an honor for the captain, and so well deserved.
I was going to say very well deserved, and we mentioned it when we were talking about how she's one of the players to watch during this matchup. She's the heart of this GG's team. She helped propel them to this moment, and she is continuing her good work here on the ice in this third period.
Gigi's back to the power play, 1 for 3 so far on the night. That power play goal coming at 55 seconds into the game off the stick of Alex Ferguson. And a chance here to break open the game and create some separation. But they're going to have to re-enter the zone as the Reds start this PK very well. Send it down the ice, killed 22 of 24 in the AUS playoffs. Here's LaPlante. In over the line, poked forward. Now Pongo. Worked over by Nystrom. Hargraves trying to win the battle for the puck. Sent to the line and poked past LaPlante. Ferguson has to hustle down the ice to beat out Carter, who we know is dangerous shorthanded. And an errant pass in the GG zone. Eustace watching proceedings, and New Ottawa looking shaky here in their 4th power play of the night.
Well, this goes back to what Ferguson had mentioned earlier, is that they just need to get back to the basics. They need to do the simple things right, as Warren gets absolutely sandwiched between Scott and Thurston, and the arms stay down.
It'll be kept in at the blue line by U Ottawa. 35 seconds left to work with on the power play. Desmarais rather. And now Samson across, and that shot right on is blocked. Samson follows up, rebound in front. Flores is there, and it's denied at the goal mouth. Samson back from Humphrey. Samson gets it right back. Desmarais down low, and Flores trying to send that in front for Morin. Fanned on the pass, it'll be kept in though by the GGs. Humphrey, pass in front. Flores winds up and shoots. Cassie McCallum makes the save.
Like the look though of that second unit for the GGs, as we're gonna have another look at Warren getting absolutely sandwiched like a good PB&J there between Scott and Thurston, and that last opportunity by Flores. A great shot from the slot, but no bodies in front to take away the eyes of McCallum. It's an easy stop for her to make.
LaPlante shooting, that goes off the leg of Hargraves as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Bell out of the box. GG's still pressuring with 7:20 to go in the third period.
And another battle on the boards there. Bilodeau kind of lurking, but it is the UNB Reds who come out with it. It will be Bell.
Bell freed from the box, tried to start the breakout. GG's will bring it right back in, but too far for Bilodeau to handle. LaPlante. Forced back inside the GG's line. Meffam plays it up the near side boards. Thurston with Ferguson on her back foot. Strom played up and into the GG's bench. That'll bring about another stoppage. 6:38 to go and getting close. Brianna to next shot, next goal wins territory.
Well, when it gets to this point with a tie game, you have to be so careful with the putt. There's only one. You don't want to give it away just for no good reason. You have to be intentional with your passes, smart with the decisions that you're making, not forcing anything, and that goes for even a couple feet inside the blue line, couple feet outside the blue line. Those are the nervy danger areas. So being very smart, the putt goes for both teams here.
Back inside the GG's attacking offensive zone for the Reds, as it's played back to the blue line. Hargreaves, Thurston can't get the shot through, defended well by Hyington. Oh, great job from Parvin, and a point-blank chance denied by Clara Genier as Eustace was on the doorstep. Genier solid when called upon, as she has been all season long.
On Eustace got a good whack on that one as it was passed out in front by Parvin. Healy was there but not able to lift the sticks. Genier had to be quick with that stop, and Hyington coming in with support, just softly giving it towards Genier to freeze it up.
Bell off the face-off towards Genier, makes another sharp save as it was redirected as it got through to her. Morin. Bell trying to keep that play alive, and it's offside as the Reds have to tag up. Morin, nice pass as Pongo has that slide off her stick. Morin Far side plays the blue line. Samson has to be careful. Exactly what you were talking about, Brianna. Got to be careful with the puck in those positions. As Warren in behind Pongo. And the GGs will regroup. Just over 5 to go in the third period. And they can't get a clean zone entrance as it's brought back out. Hedrick plays it across the zone. Carter slaps at it. High in the air and no whistle as it didn't hit anything. There's a floater beside the GG's net, and the Reds a great chance here to try to take the lead with 5 to go. Brokenshire, great stick check from Morin. Grant, Brokenshire, down low, sharp angle, jamming away with the puck still loose, trying to follow up, and Reds get in their own way as the puck floats to the corner. Sent it in front by Grant again, and Nystrom has it at the top of the zone. Nystrom toward the goal, hacked at by Murdoch, and falling, trying to find that puck was Grant, and Nystrom again will hold the line. And she's spun off stride, and not going to be a penalty as Nystrom was absolutely decked.
Well, even if it wasn't a decking, a checking, anything, it was absolutely some sort of holding or interference there. I'm surprised that the whistle stayed in the pocket for that one.
Scott turning away from Lynch, back up top to Thurston. Protecting the puck along the boards and plays it in deep. These are tired GGs out on the ice right now, hemmed in their zone for at least a minute. And Ferguson will get the puck out, and a couple GGs will change, but the Reds will be right back in on the attack. Here's Scott on the near side. Players going to the middle, and her cross-seam pass is picked up by Alex Ferguson for Ottawa. In over the line with Humphrey. Ferguson, skate to stick toward the net, and Humphrey couldn't cash. Desmarais needs to be careful with this in the neutral zone. 3:30 to go in the third period. Definitely a next goal win territory now. Our first game of the day went to overtime. The Carabin and the UBC Thunderbirds. Overtime didn't settle it. They went to a shootout. We'll see what happens here. As Hargreaves pokes that forward, it'll roll onto Genier, and Hargreaves will head into the net herself.
The world is coming to London, Ontario this summer. Don't miss the 2026 FISU World University Rowing Championships from August 13th to the 15th in partnership with Western University, Rowing Canada, and Tourism London. For more information, visit rowing2026.fisu.net.
And so after Hargreaves went into the net, there was a GG next to her as well, who looked like she went left shoulder first right into the post. And with 3:08 to go, this player has been down for an extended length of time. Haven't been able to catch the number yet.
No, I remember seeing the play happen, didn't think too much of it. And it looks like it's LaPlante, and she was all tangled up. I don't think it was the actual hit into the post. It was the awkward fall as she was all tangled up. That is not good news for the GGs. Maëlle LaPlante logs a lot of minutes, including the power play.
Second on the team in scoring through the regular season out of Lévis, Quebec. A goal, 17 assists. She is a huge, huge playmaker. As LaPlante able to get back up to her feet on her own power. As that fall looked so awkward, Brianna. She was spinning around trying to pivot.
And it seemed like her feet got a little bit caught up. Her upper body was going one way, lower body was going the other, but always good to see that the player is able to get up under her own power and make it to the bench as well under her own power. So she is on the bench right now, and hopefully she will be all right, and we will see her back out soon.
Face off in the attacking zone for the Reds, won by UNB. Thurston centers it in front. Genier able to close the 5-hole and keep the puck out. Great eyes from Genier.
Well, and she had to be really sharp on that one, as it took a couple of deflections out front that forced her to track it a little bit more challenging, as well as Thurston puts it towards the front of the net. There's a whole bunch of bodies there as it went off Wood and possibly Lynch, who were having their own wrestling match, and Genier able to cover it up.
17 minutes gone in this third period. Still deadlocked at 1. Goals in the first period from Ferguson and from Carter. Physicality in the corner again as Meffam lays the body. Thurston on the near side boards away from Morin. The Reds looking hungry as they've been in the attacking zone a lot of this third period, but they give the puck away, giving the GGs a chance to regroup. Humphrey, all she can do is whip the puck in. Forechecking is Warren. Thurston protecting the puck well. A lovely bank pass up the near side for Strome when the Reds are out. Carter through the middle of the ice. Converged on by Bilodeau. Carter taken out of the play. Humphrey swings that around to an open side and has some room to work with now. Nice pass up to Sampson, trying to chip that forward. Bell got in the way. Forward is Hedrick shooting. High shot is gloved down by Clara Genier. And every shot has the fans on the edge of their seat.
It was a good stop there by Genier, also making sure that there was no rebound as Hedrick took to the middle of the ice, wanted to go top shelf, but Genier, a big body, able to corral that without any rebound. And what a great step up by Bell that really created that opportunity for Hedrick.
Another offensive zone face-off job that's won cleanly by the Reds, and Nystrom shooting that. Swallowed up into the glove of Clara Genier again. Nystrom, the Arts major, 4th year out of Leduc, Alberta. I keep trying to put a French twang on things, but if it's from Alberta, I doubt it. As the Reds again pressuring here in the attacking zone, and LaPlante will come away with it. Great to see her back on the ice for the GGs as the Reds force that puck into the neutral zone. A minute and a half to go in the third period of play as McCallum has that slide under her stick. Hard check into the boards, and the official right there. No arm up as Meffam was decked, and I'm shocked. Desmarais rather, the one that goes down, and she's back up and skating, but that looked pretty clean cut. Nonetheless, the GGs bring it right back in. Desmarais on it here. Here's Pongo. Slap shot from the blue line. Bubbled. Desmarais going to bank it in short side. Under a minute to go in the third period. Held at the blue line. Humphrey gives it away. Able to save that though, but the Reds in possession. Last chances coming up for these two teams in regulation as Genier bobbles that shoot in. Lives a big rebound in front of her crease. Meffam nearly dispossessed. Murray on the near side boards. Hit hard by Wood. The GGs get out. Pongo bobbles the puck. Can't break it in cleanly. Reds turn it back the other way. Here's Wood across. Strome shooting. That just goes wide. Now Genier had to stretch that glove out. Pongo, beautiful shovel pass into the middle. Murray. Her shot is blocked by Thurston. 7 seconds to go in regulation as the Reds will try to pin that puck to the boards and clear it off the tip of the glove of Lynch, and we are heading to overtime for the second game in a row of our second day of coverage of the U Sports Women's Hockey Championship.
And what a tight game between these two. The ice tilted a little bit in favor of the GGs early on. UNB Reds with a very good response where they almost took more of the momentum and dominated a little bit more of the game as it wore on, and just chances exchanged on either side. Some costly turnovers that had happened during the game, one of which we'll see during a replay soon here, but costly decisions that have led us to this moment. The first goal was from the GGs on the power play. Alex Ferguson with a pass received by LaPlante and a snipe to open up the scoring, puts up the GGs 1-0. UNB not about to take that laying down. Desmarais turns it over to Lauren Carter. for the tie goal of the game, and that was a shorty, which makes it all that much harder for the GGs to swallow that one on that turnover. And that brings us to where we are currently at now.
Shots 36 for the UNB Reds. The U Ottawa GGs 22, the Reds. Much of the action was to our right in that third period. The Reds pedal to the metal coming out of that second period. And love to have been a fly on the wall in that dressing room in the second period to see what Sarah Hillworth was saying to her troops as we take a look at the updated U Sports Championship bracket. Guelph and Concordia will play at 4 p.m. tomorrow for a chance to vie for gold, and Les Montreal Caravane will play the winner of this matchup. I'm sure they're all tuned in to U Sports on CBC right now to get some game tape on their respective opponents in tomorrow's semifinal. We say it in every broadcast, but it still rings true. It's one game. It's one game. You come in the quarterfinals, you've got no room for error if you want a medal.
There's no margin for error, and even more so here in overtime. And, you know, again, the GGs really in this position because of a costly turnover, and that's just the game. That's hockey for you, and this is why, you know, it's always such an exciting time, especially when you have these two teams so evenly matched against each other. Here for this 4-on-4 overtime, there's going to be a lot of open ice to maneuver. GG's a fast skating team, Red's a fast skating team. I think both are looking forward to having a little bit more open ice as UNB controls after the faceoff.
And they'll skate it in on the far side. Running out of room though is Bongo. Stepped up against her player. And the GG trying to win the puck back, can't do it. Chance in front, Genier's down, the puck is loose, and it's picked up by Pongo, and the GG's their first chance in possession, and that just slides under the stick of Jillian Warren, but she's able to regather the puck, and we've seen that happen a lot in this game for U Ottawa. It was squeezing the stick a bit, the nerves becoming a factor as LaPlante has it.
You know, it's a lot of hockey that's being played.
Maya LaPlante has a lane, she's in shooting, and McCallum makes the save and stares down LaPlante after the fact.
She got up real quick after that one, looking down at LaPlante saying, are you kidding me that you just did that? But great shot opportunity by LaPlante. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more cut in, a better angle. Also would have liked to have seen a little bit more closing out by the UNB Reds. They really just allowed LaPlante to walk down Main Street against McCallum.
Well, Bell was the defender, but Hargreaves was there as well, and not enough communication from those two as that shot is drifted through from the blue line. And Strom will pick it up for UNB. Strom into the attacking zone, still going, tripped up on the play, and that will be a penalty against U Ottawa. No two ways about it, as Ferguson will collect the evidence lying on the ice. Head to the box.
It's a tough one for Ferguson there. Understand what she was trying to do. She got her stick though right in the skates of Strom. She even let go of her stick thinking, you know what, maybe this will make me look innocent. Unfortunately, the officials had caught on to that, and it is a penalty for the GG, so a huge opportunity for the Reds, and GGs are gonna have to fight to stay alive here.
Hargreaves takes that puck off the wall. What a chance to end it for UNB. Here's Nystrom quarterbacking this power play, 5-on-4. Here's Grant, far side, that pass toward the goal. Rebound in front, sit wide by Eustace. Had a half foot to send that past the glove of Genier and couldn't end the game there.
Well, and Genier hadn't even made it across yet fully to that left side of the net. It was wide open for Eustace, but just missed the mark.
Nystrom down low for Hargreaves, trying to shoot, and that goes off of Sampson. Collected on the far side boards. Back up top, Georgia Nystrom. Switching spots with Eustace. Nystrom down low, left circle, shooting. Stopped by Genier, the rebound picked up by Jillian Warren. And she'll skate it up ice, one-on-one. Warren's got moves and she tries to drag it through, but Eustace staying right with her. And now Scott back the other way, 2-on-2. Still on the power play of the Reds. Scott shooting again, and that was fought off by Genier. Played back to the blue line. Scott with Carter in front. Scott shoots. Genier again off the right pad through traffic. And a tangle along the boards, and the puck's out. Humphrey down the ice, one-on-one again. Humphrey drags it through the legs of the defender. And Scott able to regroup and gather the puck up and send it up for Strome. Over the blue line, Strome breaks in, shoots, rebound in front. Genier sticks the right pad out and is able to keep the puck out of the net.
Solid job done there by Genier, and a good job by Mepham as well, making sure that she tied up her player so there was no chance of getting the rebound.
What a rush up ice by Hillary Wood, and it's taken away from her by Bilodeau, and that'll just about do it for the power play. One last chance on the man advantage. Bell sends it back as we're back to 4-on-4 hockey. Eustace back across the top of the zone, shooting. Parvin, great save off the redirect from Genier. Hargreaves, and ran into her own player in Bell, but they're able to keep the play alive. Eustace, shot again, fought off by Genier, and the rebound cleared to the boards. And the GG is trying to move the puck out. Here's Alex Ferguson, dancing around Bell. Ferguson pinned to the boards by Bell. Morin trying to fish the puck out against Lauren Carter. And Bell on it here for UNB. Nice pass through the neutral zone for Eustace. And Eustace will regroup with Nystrom.
And Morin there hard on the forecheck as Nystrom makes a really nice move to cut in front and take it up the ice herself.
Nystrom with Reiner driving the net. Nystrom still going. Looked like she got disrupted a bit. Got the puck in front, and Reiner had cleared the front of the net. Nystrom again, Reiner. The puck poked off her stick, and LaPlante able to get it out into the neutral zone. Nystrom. Warren wins the puck back for Ottawa. Long lead pass through the middle of the ice, collected by Pongo. Pongo trying to cut to her forehand, and it was stripped of her by Thurston.
It's a good job by Thurston, and good supporting cast coming from Hedrick on the back end.
Jillian Warren, the goal-scoring leader for the GGs in the regular season, brings the puck in and shoots, but a soft one is fought off, and the rebound off the outside of the post from Sydney Lynch. Thurston, pardon me, below the goal line, pinned to the boards by Beatrice Bilodeau. Out into the neutral zone, Hedrick will pin that puck to the boards, and that looked like too many players on the ice for the UNB Reds, as the player coming on inadvertently kicked the puck with her skate. Nonetheless will play on. Into the zone is Bell. Wood following up. 4 players will pin to the boards.
Oh, this is where Bilodeau's doing a good job staying D side. Ferguson in good positioning as well to try and get that loose puck, but it's kept in.
GGs will regroup and send it up ice. Now 2-on-2. Here's Lynch, the defender, in on the attack. Ferguson shooting, and that's stopped by Cassie McCallum.
Nice play by Lynch there, trying to find Ferguson. It does. Would have liked to have almost seen it fake, draw everyone towards Ferguson, and then continue on her way. She would have had a wide open opportunity there.
Oh, Wood gets this puck off the boards, and it just slides under her stick. What a chance in the dead slot, and then gives the puck away. Back up the near side is Morin, speeding in on goal. Morin hard on her stick, protects it away from 2 Reds. To the point. And that pass will force the GGs out of the zone. Slapped in by Humphrey. Under 4 to go in 4-on-4 overtime. Strome up the far side, and it's called offside at the GG's blue line.
On again, some hand-to-hand action. We're going to take a look at the opportunity that Strome created there, and a nice pad save, all stretched out. Genier makes the stop. And a shot that went in front, and Genier just fought off for it to go wide. It was a nice tip by Hargreaves that was done in front there.
Clara Genier, the marketing major, standing tall right now for Ottawa. Their best player in this overtime period. Thurston trying to escape the checking of Pongo. Pongo can't win the puck back. Here's Scott over the line. Offside again as Parvin half step ahead of the play.
Well, and Pongo did a really good job on the forecheck and closing out. And the trouble is there was way too much of a gap that Warren and Prue allowed for UNB to just walk right into the GG zone. Understand that it's overtime, but you do still have to play your game. You still can't allow that much room to the opposing players. They're going to make you pay for it.
GGs win the puck back out of the neutral zone and try to break up ice. Hargreaves turns them back to their defensive zone. Bilodeau working. Trying to win that puck back. Ferguson will pick this up in the neutral zone and now brings it in, but 1-on-3. And the Reds will turn back. Here's Lily Bell. Spun off the puck, but there's good secondary support from her captain. And Hargreaves will bring it up through the middle of the ice. Over the blue line. Peyton Hargreaves. Down low, Reese Meffam trying to win that away and does. Alex Ferguson trying to gather up speed over the red line and into the shift has to dump it in. 2:25 to go in overtime as Eustace will pick this puck off the wall into the skates of Wood, and the Reds will try to get a clean breakout through the neutral zone. Wood still on it. Into the GG's end. Desmarais picks it away from her and plays it to the wall. Was trying to bank it out. Sampson back into heavy traffic. Turned over. Here's Scott along the boards, and Desmarais comes back to bail out Sampson and will now move up ice. Desmarais past Cassie McCallum. Thurston stapled to the boards. Now Morin. Morin still protecting the puck. Plays it over to Prue on the near side. Shot! It is stopped by McCallum. And that's cleared up and down the ice and won't go for icing. Takes a UNB bounce. Prue away from Reiner. And now Pongo in on the attack. Pongo to the slot. Shooting. Bubble puck in front. McCallum makes the save. Sent to the boards. 1:20 to go in overtime. Julian Warren can't keep the puck in the zone. Reese Meffam off the boards, down the ice, and it's rolling, and icing waved off as Lily Bell goes back. Eustace can't clear the zone. Pongo, great job along the boards. Through the neutral zone now, collecting it is Parvin. Parvin away from Reese Meffam, pins her to the boards. Humphrey trying to fish that puck out. GGs want to protect the front of the net. Less than a minute to go in overtime. As Humphrey staples her player to the boards, Parvin keeps the attack on. A redirected shot that goes off a leg. Finds the pad of Genier. 30 seconds left until we go to a shootout. Parvin forechecking against Humphrey. Humphrey down to the ice. Picked back up by the Reds. Here's Hargreaves. Spun out along the boards, and Ottawa will clear the danger out to center. Poked at, and a chance here for the captain, Bilodeau. Bilodeau in overtime, and she was stick checked by Strome. And a penalty with 8 seconds to go on Riley Strome.
Well, I mean, at that point, Strome, don't know if she knew there was only about 8 seconds left, but that was a huge opportunity for Bilodeau as Thurston blows a tire. Strome gets on her horse to come back, gives a little bit of a whack to Bilodeau on the hands, which is why there's the penalty called on the play. So Bilodeau doesn't get a good shot off. Strome gets a penalty with 8 seconds left. There's going to be maybe just enough time for one play off the faceoff, as you see head coach for the GGs, Ali Dominico, drawing up something on the whiteboard. Now, keep in mind that the Reds have been absolutely dominant in the dot all game. So if the GGs are going to have an opportunity to do something off the draw, it's absolutely critical that they win this faceoff.
Reds have won 35 faceoffs in the game. The GGs 23. And as you said, Brianna, it's going to be a win and a shot. There's the best case scenario for Ottawa off the faceoff. Maybe a chance for a rebound if they get the shot through to McCallum. And all hands on deck for the UNB Reds to protect the front of the net off this draw. 4-on-3 the power play. 8 seconds left in overtime, tied at 1, and the Reds, as they have been all game long, dominant on the face-off. It'll be pinned to the boards by Thurston. Gigi's fished the puck out, loose in front, and a shot goes wide. LaPlante might have had a chance to end it at the buzzer, and she sent it past the blocker's side of McCallum, and we're heading to a shootout.
Wow, I'm not even sure how that puck managed to squeak out to the front of the net, but it did, and I thought LaPlante was going to bury this, and she just hit it wide. It looked like it was just going to stay behind the net. Warren managed to take it out from behind, pop it out. LaPlante walked in for that one-timer and just couldn't put it on net.
And the whistle, you hear the whistle, it might not have counted.
We will never know.
We'll never know.
So for the second time today, we are heading to a shootout. We saw this with the first quarterfinal match earlier today, and it is just nervy.
Take a look at the championship bracket. This game started at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's now 9:30. As we head to a shootout, Montreal awaiting to see who wins in this shootout, this last quarterfinal, to see who they'll face tomorrow at 7 p.m. Guelph and Concordia, they moved on yesterday, winning their respective quarterfinal matchups. And the Manitoba Bisons into the consolation bracket after being beaten by the Concordia Stingers. The Waterloo Warriors, the host team, to the consolation bracket. The 1-seed UBC Thunderbirds upset in the shootout by Les Carabins to the consolation bracket as well. The rules in the shootout at this 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship: best of 3, a coin flip to determine who wants to shoot first, and U Ottawa will be shooting first. They elect to go with Alex Ferguson. Played for 2 years at Merrimack College in the NCAA. Biochemistry major out of Burlington, Ontario. Opened the scoring here tonight. Can she score here in the shootout? McCallum stays with her and keeps it out. What a save from the UNB netminder.
I don't know how she did it, but phenomenal as Ferguson's coming down pretty much straight on. Looked like she had her beat, and McCallum just puts her stick out there, hoping that it connects with the puck, and it did.
To shoot next for the UNB Reds, Olivia Eustace out of Riverview, New Brunswick. Eustace. Oh, what a save by Genier. What a goalie duel this is in the shootout. Going the wrong way, gets the blocker out to make the save.
This is the battle of the goaltenders as Eustace does a good job coming down the left side, strong side, and then going back towards, I'm not sure if it was the blocker, if it was just the right pad that Genier was able to kick out and get there, but no goal.
And now Jillian Warren, the GG's goal scoring leader through the regular season, to give the GG's the lead in the shootout. Cuts wide, and it's poke checked by McCallum. Jillian Warren.
I understand what she was trying to do. She wanted to bring it back over to the right-hand side, get McCallum moving, and try to either slide it through that 5-hole or try to put it over top, but just couldn't handle it to bring it back.
Here's Caitlin Scott out of Almont, Ontario. In on Clara Genier. Scott holds, and it's stopped by Genier. Scott couldn't get the backhand through.
Oh, but she picked up really good speed. I liked how she changed her tempo as she came a little bit closer. She picked up speed, hoping to get Genier to bite, and Genier stood steady, stood strong.
Now Naomi Moret, the second-year human kinetics major, to take the lead in the shootout. In on Cassie McCallum. Moret, stopped by McCallum, got it off the blocker.
Good job by McCallum there. Again, these goaltenders stubborn. Neither one of them are biting on anything that the shooters are trying to do. Moran elected to stay right kind of in the middle. McCallum stayed strong.
And now Peyton Hargreaves, the Reds' all-time leader in points to win it and send her team to the semifinals, and Genier shuts her down.
Like I said, these goaltenders are stubborn. They both want to win, neither one of them wanting to give an inch, and Hargraves not really making Genier move all that much.
Alex Ferguson, her second chance in the shootout, as we'll extend it to 4 rounds. Shores! Past McCallum on the glove side, and Alex Ferguson gives the GGs the lead in the shootout.
An absolutely beautiful shot, the same position that she placed it for her goal during regulation on the power play. She beats McCallum again, and the GG's bench is going wild.
And now Scott for the UNB Reds. Caitlin Scott to extend it. Scott backhand roof job. What a goal by Caitlin Scott, and will play on in the shootout.
Oh, that was tricky and very well done by Scott. She got Genier to bite at the last minute as she was going down the middle. Looked like she was going to go to the right, went to the left, put it on her backhand and went top shelf.
Up again is Jillian Warren. Her second crack at Cassie McCallum. Jillian Warren digs. Far side, what a save by McCallum. Sprawling to her left to keep it out.
Oh, and it looked like Warren had her beat. Looked like she bit, but what did she do? She flopped over at the last minute, diving to make that stop.
Here's the captain again, Peyton Hargreaves for the UNB Reds. Dekes and scores! And the UNB Reds move on to the semifinals, and will have a chance to play for gold for the first time.
Oh, that was an absolutely beautiful deke coming from Hargreaves, and you know, we saw this in the other quarterfinal matchup as well. A shootout is a really tough way to lose a hockey game, and it is disappointing for the GGs, really phenomenal for the UNB Reds, and again, it took 70 minutes and it still wasn't enough. Had to go to a shootout, and that's really a true testament to how close this game was, how hard these two teams fought.
And Clara Genier, what more can you say about her? GG's best player for most of the hockey game, especially in overtime, denying the Reds on a number of grade A scoring chances. She would be my vote for Nike Player of the Game for U Ottawa.
Mine too, to be very honest. I mean, she made stops that you wouldn't even think a goaltender had any business stopping, and if not for her, the score could have looked different, the game could have looked different. So no, she needs to be extremely proud of her performance, and the GGs as a whole, you know, they showed up, they made it here. Wasn't an easy road, and not the ending that they would have wanted for sure, but again, this is hockey and this is what happens, right? It's one game, it's not a series.
Exactly. And they met a similar fate in the one-game McCaw Cup final. Take a look at the Hargreaves game winner.
And it was that one little stutter step that Hargreaves made right there that made Genier bite. And so Hargreaves was able to then take it back to her strong side on the left and just pop it past Genier for the win for her team.
Peyton Hargreaves, the captain, and doing what captains do, putting her team on her back. Her second in the regular season in the AUS in goals with 13. A record-breaking season for her with the UNB Reds, as she now sits at all-time Reds points leader with 51 goals, 65 assists for 107 points and 129 regular season games played for her. And now the Nike Players of the Game.
To present the awards, please welcome Rich Bolton of the Nike team. The Nike team player of the match from the Ottawa GGs. La joueuse du match de Nike des GGs. Your goalie, number 35, numéro 35, Clara Genier.
Well, exactly like we were saying, Brianna, Clara Genier, the most deserving of this Nike Player of the Game award for the U Ottawa GGs. In her first year as the starting goaltender for U Ottawa, 5 shutouts in the regular season and a brick in the playoffs.
Your goalie, number 30.
And like you said,
Cassie,
Brianna, the goaltending battle,
McCallum.
the goaltending duel, the Nike Player of the Game for the UNB Reds goes to Cassie McCallum in her 5th year. Made some unbelievable stops through that game as well. And at some points of the game, stole it for UNB.
Oh, and again, it's a game of inches, and they both talked about it in their 2-minute segments that we saw earlier, where they like being in a position where they can make a difference, where it can fall on them to win a game. And this is exactly what we saw here, and it was the battle of 2 goaltenders. That was the storyline of this game. Chances on either end, goaltenders both stubborn, both wanting to win, both wanting to compete, and that's why they chose the position of goaltender.
Especially in displaying that shootout, some unbelievable saves being made. And joy on one end of the ice for the UNB Reds and disappointment on the other for U Ottawa, but for their first time back at Nationals in 17 years, they'll have a chance to play for 5th. So we'll take a look at some of the stats after 70 minutes of play. Face-off just continued to be a big marker. UNB winning 36, the GGs 23. A wide margin in shots on goal as well. 44 for the UNB Reds, 29 for the Ottawa GGs, and the Reds getting in the shooting lanes as well. And we'll send it down now to Carissa Duncan, who has Cassie McCallum rinkside, the Nike Player of the Game, with some amazing saves in that shootout.
Player of the game, huge game for you, Cassie. You're heading to the semifinals. How does it feel?
It feels great. We've been at this tournament 5 years, and we haven't, since the first year, we haven't made it past that first round, so it feels great to make it past that first round.
What would it mean for you to bring a medal back to Fredericton?
Oh, it would be great. I think nothing better, especially in my senior year. That's all I want, so.
You know, to watch Peyton's performance in the shootout, your captain, someone you played with your entire career, what does she mean to this team?
Oh, that was huge. She's a clutch player. She knows how to put the puck in the net when it matters, and she did that again, so that's huge.
And so a little birdie told me that you haven't washed your hockey socks in 5 years. Superstition, how much do you think that contributed to your performance tonight?
Oh, I don't know how much it contributes, but for me, a superstition's a superstition, so.
Thank you. Best of luck in the semifinals.
Well, I gotta say, that last one caught me off guard. Brianna, Cassie McCallum, the Nike Player of the Game. Maybe the reason she's so dominant is in net is that nobody wants to get near her because of the smell from those socks that they haven't seen a wash in 5 years.
Hey, strategy is strategy. We're not here to judge Despin. I don't know, but superstition, like she said, is superstition. You can bet that she is not washing those socks after this game either.
Definitely not. And if they make it through and perhaps are able to claim a medal in the tournament, those socks will be going to the UNB Hockey, UNB Sports Hall of Fame. If there is such a thing, I'm sure there's at least a cabinet at the Aiken Center.
I'm sure, but
things such as that.
I think they'll have to wash them though.
We'll take a look at the updated U Sports Championship bracket. Now 4 teams move on, all filled out. The Caravana Mariel, no more waiting. They know who they're facing tomorrow at 7 p.m. It is the UNB Reds, the 4 seed. And at 4 p.m. it will be Guelph and Concordia to play for a chance to move on to the gold medal game. And dropping into the consolation bracket, the best they can do is 5th. UBC will play Ottawa at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and Waterloo will face off against Manitoba at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And speaking of that game, join us at 10 a.m. for our next broadcast featuring the Manitoba Bisons and the Waterloo Warriors at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So on behalf of everybody here at U Sports on CBC, Brianna Newell, Carissa Duncan, and Elmira, Ontario, our entire U Sports crew, on CBC. My name is Desmond Thomas. The final score 2-1 in the shootout as the Reds move on to the semifinals. Thank you for watching U Sports on CBC.
U Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Veraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.